Caliente and Excalibur.
And the bell has rung. SoCal Pro fans are in for something special this evening.
Crowd going crazy. Don Caliente smacking his butt cheeks. You cannot make this up. This, ladies and gentlemen, is SoCal Pro. Possibly 100% the hottest SoCal action you will ever see in the terms of wrestling, possibly in the entire state of California. SoCal Pro, this is the place to be. This crowd is hot. The tag teams are amazing. And folks, we are just getting started. We still have so many more surprises to come. Welcome to SoCal Pro Genesis.
Now, we've talked about size disparities. We've talked about the athleticism and the speed disparities this evening. But really, what it comes down to these two teams is a perspective. It's the way they come in and approach the match. As it appears that Don Caliente is more into partying than he is wrestling at this juncture.
Yeah, Don Caliente can do it all, as their record will speak for itself. Look at that now, nice drag from Don Caliente. Again, partying, shifting, shimmying, as ever the party stud that he is. As sexy Mexi, as they call him, Don Caliente.
And you know, when you've got someone in the ring that it's supposed to be a fight and he's just grinding his hips, I wonder if that's a psychological component. Psychological warfare doesn't seem to be Excalibur's bag.
Excalibur seems quite upset with this psychological dance that Don Caliente is producing. Going up to the top here. Big punches to the face. Only two, shooting off Don Caliente to the buckle. Reversal there, in goes Excalibur into the buckles. Followed in by Don Caliente, up. Big arm drag as down goes Excalibur. Drop kick, down goes Excalibur again as Don Caliente shows us the worm, ladies and gentlemen. Dos Caliente doing it as only they can. Almost a count of two, only a count of one there. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, the referee just yelled at me. It was a count of two indeed.
Well, when people are moving this quickly, it's hard to keep count. But you can see that Don Caliente, even though he is a party animal, well, I was going to compliment him, but I think he may have just been knocked out.
As Kamikaze comes in without a tag, although we are talking about perhaps this Lucha mindset where tags are non-existent. As one person exits, the other is able to enter the ring. But of course, we're all a little bit now confused as Excalibur takes back over onto Gustavo Perez. Big boot to the sternum. This crowd now getting behind perhaps Lucha Suicidas, which is a little bit surprising. Big chop there to the chest.
And you mentioned those Lucha rules. For Lucha rules, we have a Lucha referee, our resident Lucha referee, just in case.
Double whip into the buckle. In goes Kamikaze, followed by Excalibur. Big knee to the chest.
And that's what the Lucha tag team's all about. It's about that teamwork. It's about those double teams. You'll notice the referee is not is being a little lenient with his counting.
Big drop kick into the corner. Are we going to see a cover here? One, save there by Don Caliente.
As Kamikaze drops from near orbit onto the chest of Don Caliente.
Nearly grabbing the rafters here in Vista. Nevertheless, Excalibur still in control, taking absolute control of this matchup. Up on the shoulders now, what are we going to see here? Big roll up on the top is Kamikaze. This is how he gets the name. Big diving headbutt into the cover. Perhaps Kamikaze got a little bit more of that than he wanted to.
That's that high risk, high reward that's made even more risky by driving your forehead into the dome of your opponent. But if you can argue the results, as Don Caliente is very slow to get up.
Up again to the top there now. This time is Kamikaze. laying it in to Don Caliente, having some choice words with the referee, following it back up with a shoulder into the gut. And a big boot to the side of the head now. Down goes Caliente.
And I think we're about to find out how well you can party with cranial trauma.
Lucha Suicidas definitely taking control of this match, as Dos Caliente is challenged like they haven't been in any recent times. This, of course, is a precursor. One of these men could potentially, in the upcoming months, face our reigning SoCal Pro Heavyweight Champions, Tag Team Champions, that being the Lucha Kings.
Both these teams no strangers to chasing that gold. Both have challenged the Lucha Kings before, and like I mentioned before, Lucha Suicidas in a possible match of the year contender.
Big Inseguri sends back down as Dos Caliente is back in trouble. And unfortunately, this is what you can come to expect when you're facing a tag team such as Lucha Suicidas. Going into the rope now, hanging on. Inseguri there, another Inseguri there.
And Gustavo, always been the more serious of the two in Dos Caliente.
Amazing athleticism there displayed by Gustavo Perez. Just missing in, back down to the Rana. As out goes Kamikaze. Take your pick, you got opportunities on both sides, but look here, Excalibur coming back in. Up he goes. And down he goes. Dos Caliente now making the cover. 1, 2, saved by Kamikaze, as this match is absolutely all over the place. What you can come to expect here with these phenomenal two tag teams here at SoCal Pro.
We've got an amazing tag team division full of dynamic and very different styles. And speaking of different styles, it's interesting, the two different styles of Dos Caliente. You've got the party animal, Don Caliente, and the more serious of the two, Gustavo, but now they're working as a well-oiled machine.
The well-oiled machine making that cover, but Excalibur now comes to the save. Just when you think people are in trouble, we have tag teams that make the save. Again, you talk about this well-oiled machine, this cohesiveness, that's what you need in tag team wrestling. You can't just pick any partner off the street. You have to know somebody and trust them with your life almost in this contest, as any simple mistake could cause you the championship or championship opportunities. As this tag team is, these tag teams are always championship ready.
You have to know them, you have to travel with them.
Absolute nasty.
Eat together, train together. You have to learn how to think together to be a cohesive and successful tag team. As we see one more time, draped on the ropes. Gustavo, and then that twisting neckbreaker from Excalibur.
Excalibur absolutely punishing Gustavo Perez, but back now to the actions. We see Don Caliente taking advantage of Kamikaze. Kamikaze won't take that too lightly. Coming down, shooting off to the ropes, reversing. Coming back up. Nice drape across the neck as down goes Don Caliente. In comes Gustavo Perez, perhaps the only person now to change this contest around and perhaps save Dos Caliente.
That might have been one of the most vicious sling blades I've ever seen. The whiplash on Don Caliente was insane. Speaking of insane, a big jumping leg drop from Gustavo Perez.
Out goes Excalibur and it's Gustavo Perez. We just have Don Caliente and Kamikaze in there. Kick to the gut. Are we gonna see it here? Beautiful, absolute beautiful destroyer. If he can cover him here, it's over.
Caliente, you gotta go for the cover, my man.
Oh, we talked about this party atmosphere. I think this might be a mistake.
How long has Kamikaze been down?
Look, he's telling him, Gustavo Perez is telling him to pin him. He missed the opportunity. Down goes Gustavo Perez. Don Caliente, perhaps seeing his mistake, doing everything he can to rectify it, but here comes Excalibur into the buckle. In goes Kamikaze, double knees to the chest. Gustavo Perez is nowhere to be found. Don Caliente is in a tremendous heap of trouble here. If they hit this, it could be over. Big boots to the back. And down he goes, ladies and gentlemen. I hate to say it's all over, but Excalibur not getting all of that one.
Big dive to the outside after what only could be described as a cardiac sandwich by Lucha Suicidas.
Lucha Suicidas in a very favorable position as now both men going to the top rope. Dos Caliente is in trouble. Oh my goodness, big 450 and another one.
450s in stereo.
And that'll do it here.